Hello and welcome back. In our last class, I was teaching you about elementary row or column operations. Let us start our class today with some examples based on elementary row or column operations. For example, I give you a matrix A is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. Consider a matrix 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a 2 by 2 square matrix. And let us first of all identify the rows and columns of this matrix. So this is the first row designated as R1. This is the second row designated as R2. This is the first column designated as C1. And this is the second column designated as C2. Okay, now do this operation. As I have told you before, for each and every row or each and every column, we can do certain operations. For example, for row operations, we're having the first type of operation is the interchanging of rows. So if I say that R1 interchanged with R2, then after this operation, this matrix will become 3, 4, 1, 2. So after this operation, this matrix has become this. Okay, because the second row has moved to the first position and the first row becomes the second row. This is what is exactly happening here, right? Next operation is any row or any column gets magnified or demagnified. So let us say the second row becomes halved. So if we look at the second row, this is the second row, right? Halve it and put it here. First row remains the same and the second row becomes halved. So it is 3 by 2 and 4 by 2. And the third type of operation that I have given in the last class was any row gets added or subtracted with a multiple of the other row. So consider this example. Second row becomes second row plus 2 times the first row. So what is the first row? First row is 1 and 2. This is the first row, right? It is 1, 2. Now multiply this row with the number 2. Then this number will become 2. 2 to the 4. This will become 4. Now do this, that R2 added with 2R1. R2 plus 2R1. So R2 add it with 2R1. Then 3 plus 2 will become 5. And 4 plus 4 will become 8. And the first row remains the same. So this is the matrix that we are left with. Okay. So these are three types of row operations that we perform. In a similar way, we can deal with the column operations in a very similar manner. So let us look at another example. I will try to solve as many examples based on the row column operations because it is extremely essential to learn this so that you may be able to solve problems on inverse of a matrix. Let us have another matrix. Let us say we have a matrix A is equal to 1, 2, 5, 6, for example. So the first task is to identify the first row. This is the first row. This is the second row. And this is the first column. This is the second column. Then do this operation. R1 interchanged with R2. This symbol stands for interchanging operation. So R1 gets interchanged with R2. So what does this matrix become after the interchanging operation? The second row gets to the first position and the first row gets to the second position. So these two rows just change their places. So it will be 5, 6, 1, 2. This must be clear to you, right? It is extremely easy. Let's look at the second operation. Let's say I use this type of operation. Row 1 becomes 3 times row 1. Row 1 becomes 3 times the row 1. So we notice here that the row 1 consists of two numbers 1 and 2 and the entire matrix changes. Look, here we are not changing the second row. So second row remains the same. as 5 6, and only the first row is getting changed. The first row is getting changed to 3 times the first row. That means the first row is getting multiplied by 3. So first row is 1 2, multiply the entire first row with the number 3. So 3 into 1 is 3 and 3 into 2 is 6. So this is the matrix that we are left with. Okay, let us say in the same category, let us do another example. For example, say C2 becomes C2 by 3. That means the second column, this is the second column becomes divided by 3. Second column gets divided by 3. So you can see here the first column does not change here. So first column remains the same as 1 5, and look at the second column, we have 2 and 6. So divide each number by 3. So divide 2 by 3, it becomes 2 by 3, and divide this number 6 by 3. So 6 by 3 is 2. So this is the result for this operation. In a similar manner, if I say that you have to change the second row to minus R2 by 7, what will be the result? Notice that only the R2 is getting changed, R1 is remaining the same. So in the matrix, R1 will stay the same as 1 2. And what about the second row? Second row gets multiplied by minus 1 by 7. So the entire second row gets multiplied by minus 1 by 7. So 5 into minus 1 by 7 is minus 5 by 7, and 6 multiplied by minus 1 by 7 is minus 6 by 7. It is very simple. Let's look at another example. For example, say I multiply the first column with minus C1 by 2. What will be the answer? Well, let's look at the matrix. Only the first column is getting changed, second column remains the same. So second column I write it here, and look at the first column. First column has numbers 1 and 5. Multiply each number by minus 1 by 2. So 1 becomes minus 1 by 2. And what about 5? 5 becomes minus 5 by 2. Minus 5 by 2. See, it is very easy. Let's move to third type of operation, that was adding or subtracting a column with another column or row. Suppose if I say that second row becomes the sum of second row along with the multiplication of the second row with the number 2. So let's look at the second row here. This entire thing is the second row. So R2 is 5 and 6. So multiply this row with the number 2. So 5 becomes 10 and 6 becomes 12 after multiplication by 2. Now you have to add this entire 2R2 with the first row. First row is 1 and 2. So you are seeing that in this operation R2 is not getting changed. Only the first row is getting changed to something. So let's draw the matrix here, and we see that R2 is not getting changed. So let us write R2 as it is, and look at the first row. First row becomes first row plus 2R2. So first row has number 1 here, and it gets added to 10, it becomes 11. In a similar manner, 2 gets added with 12, it becomes 14. It is very easy. Let's look at another example based on the same matrix. Let us say I am trying to make C1 plus 3 C2, for example. So right away we see that C2 remains the same because only C1 is getting changed to something. C2 remains the same. So write C2 as it is, 2 6, and look at C1. C1 becomes C1 plus 3 C2. So let's look at C2. C2 is 2 and 6, and we have to multiply C2 with 3. So 3 2s are 6 and 6 3s are 18. Now C1 gets added with 3 C2. What is C1? C1 is 1 and 5. The C1 plus 3 C2 is 1 plus 6 is 7, and 5 plus 18, you find it out, it is 23. right? So we have this operation done. Let us look at another example. I'm solving so many examples because it is very important that you understand it properly. For example, let us say C2 gets changed to C2 minus C1, for example. So right away you notice that only C2 is getting changed in this position. C1 remains the same. So let's write C1 as it is, because C1 is not changing, only C2 is changing. Now C2 minus C1, what is C2? C2 is 2 and 6. And what is C1? C1 is 1, 5. And this C2 position becomes C2 minus C1. So what is C2 minus C1? 2 minus 1 is 1, placed at the position C2, and 6 minus 5 is 1. So this becomes 1, 1, 5, 1. It is very easy. Okay, let's look at another example. R2 becomes R2 minus 2R1. So in a similar fashion, we are seeing that the first row remains the same because only R2 is getting changed to something. So first row remains the same as 1, 2. And look at the second row. The second row is 5, 6. And we have 2R1. So let's write R1. And we have 1, 2. So if you multiply the first row with the number 2, then 1 becomes 2 and 2 becomes 4 after multiplication with 2. Now here in the second row we have to write R2 minus 2R1. So R2 minus 2R1 is 5 minus 2 is 3 and 6 minus 4 is 2. Okay, let's look at another example. Let's change this matrix this time. Let us say we have a matrix A is equal to 1, 3, 2, 1, 1, 0, 1, 0, 2. So recognize the rows and columns. This is the first row R1, this is the second row R2, this is the third row R3, this is the first column C1, second column C2, third column C3. Okay, in this matrix let us say we have to do this operation. R2 becomes minus R2 by 6, for example. So what will be the new matrix after this operation? The matrix, see, R1 and R3 are not changing, only the second row is changing to something. So let us write the first row and the third row as it is, 1, 3, 2 and 1, 0, 2. Only the second row becomes multiplied by minus 1 by 6. So second row is this row is the second row, and each number of this row will be divided by 6 and there is a minus sign here. So 1 would become minus 1 by 6, this one will become again minus 1 by 6, and 0 divided by 6 is 0 and minus again here 0. So this is the matrix after performing this operation. Okay, let us say another example. Say we have C3 changing to C3 plus C2, for example. So we are seeing here that C1 and C2 remains same. So C1, this is the first column, and C2 is the second column. These two columns remain the same here. So let's write them as it is, 3, 1, 0. Look at C3 plus C2. C3 is this column and C2 is that column, and you have to place it here after adding both the columns C2 and C3. So 3 plus 2 is 5, put it here. 1 plus 0 is 1, put it here. 0 plus 2 is 2, put it there. Okay, so this is the matrix. After performing this operation on that matrix, we get this matrix. Let us look at another example. Let us say changing C2 only to C2 minus 2 times C1. So right away we notice that C1 and C3 are remaining same. So C1 is 1, 1, 1, it will remain the same. C3 again will remain the same, 202 remain the same. Only C2 getting changed to C2 minus 2C1. So first of all, what is C2? C2 is 310, and what is C1? C1 is 111. Now it is 2C1. So after multiplying by 2, every number becomes multiplied by 2. Now we have to do this operation C2 minus 2C1. C2 minus 2C1. So 3 minus 2 is 1. We have to place it in the second column position. Again 1 minus 2 is minus 1. Place it here. 0 minus 2 is minus 2. See how easy it is, right? So this is the matrix. After performing this operation on that matrix, we get this matrix. Let's look at another example. Suppose I'm telling you that third row becomes third row minus second row divided by 2. For example, suppose. So we are seeing that the first row and second row remain the same. The first row is 132, it will remain same, and second row also remains same. Second row is 110, it will remain the same, and only the third row is getting changed. So we have third row as 102, and we have R2 by 2. So let's first of all write R2. R2 is 110, and R2 by 2 is each and every number gets divided by 2. 0 by 2 is 0. Now third row will be R3 minus R2. So R3 minus R2 by 2 is 1 minus half is half. Then 0 minus half is minus half. And finally 2 minus 0 is 2. So this is the matrix. After performing this operation on this matrix, we get this matrix. So now it must be clear to you how to perform various elementary row and column operations on any given square matrix or any given matrix, right? So solve as many examples as you may think that would suit your purpose. Now let's move on to a new topic, and that is the last topic of this chapter. We call it inversion of matrices. So remember, we have done several operations on two matrices. Suppose A and B were two matrices. We have done addition, we have done subtraction, we have done multiplication. We have done three operations, but there was no divide symbol, or there was no divide operation. Well, because this is because matrices are not divided. But however, we also know that any matrix, when gets multiplied by the identity matrix, it becomes the same matrix. Just in a similar way, any number gets multiplied by 1, or 1 gets multiplied by any number, it becomes the same number too. In a similar fashion, identity matrix behaves very much like 1 for number system, and for matrices we have the matrix I instead of 1. Okay, so it behaves in a very similar way. So what I mean to say that A into I will be A, or you can say I into A will be the same matrix A. This must be clear to you. That is why you call it an identity matrix. We call it an identity matrix. The reason why I call it identity matrix is that whenever we multiply this matrix with any matrix, any square matrix, if we multiply identity matrix with any square matrix of the same order, we get the same matrix. I does not matter whether you multiply it or not, it will be the same matrix. Okay, utilizing this property, we see that some of the matrices can be inverted. Now what do I mean by inversion of a matrix? The inversion of a matrix can be said when we have, if we have two square matrices A and B, such that A multiplied by B is the same as B multiplied by A, and the entire thing becomes equal to the identity matrix. Now look at this condition here. If there are two matrices, both of them must be square matrix. Both of them must be square matrix. Okay, A must be a square matrix and B must be a square matrix of the same order, of order M. Okay, they must be of the same order M. Suppose M is some order, A is a matrix of square matrix of order M, B is also a square matrix of order M, and if it obeys this condition that if you multiply A and B together, it is the same as multiplying A and B together in the opposite fashion, and the entire multiplication product becomes equal to I, then in that case, then A we call it as a B inverse and B we call it as A inverse. So this is the entire rule for inversion of matrix. So this rule states that two matrices are said to be inverses of each other. We say that A is nothing but inverse of B, or B is nothing but inverse of A, when if we multiply A and B together, and when we multiply both the matrices together, then it becomes identity matrix. Just in a similar way, in algebra we had 2 multiplied by 1 by 2 will be equal to 1, right? So can we not say that 2 is equal to 1 by 2 inverse, or 2 inverse is equal to 1 by 2? In a very similar way, we apply this same phenomenon in matrix. Okay, so it must be clear to you what is the inverse of a matrix, right? So A equal to B inverse and B equal to A inverse. That means both these matrices, if you take inverse on A, it becomes B. If you take inverse of B, it becomes A. So it is the same inversion technique of matrix. Now let us see how two inverse matrices can be shown in an example. Let us say we have a matrix A equal to 2, 3, 1, 2. This is a matrix, and we have another matrix B of the same order, 2, minus 3 and minus 1, 2. Suppose we have two matrices A and B. Let us check if A is inverse of B and B is inverse of A. So how to check it? We know the condition that if A, B, that means A multiplied by B is the same as B multiplied by A, is equal to identity matrix, then we can say that A is inverse of B and also B is also inverse of A. So let's first try A into B. Let's see what we get when we multiply A with B. So we have 2, 3, 1, 2 multiplied by 2 minus 3 minus 1, 2. So how do we multiply? If you recall, this gets multiplied by that. So 2 into 2 becomes 4, plus 3 into minus 1 becomes minus 3. So we have 4 minus 3 here. Then it takes a dip further here. So 2 into minus 3 becomes minus 6. Then plus 3 into 2 becomes 6. So minus 6 plus 6. Then in the lower position, 1 by 1, 2 gets multiplied with this first column. So 1 into 2 becomes 2, plus 2 into minus 1 becomes minus 2. Then takes a further dip in this position. 1 into minus 3 becomes minus 3, plus 2 into 2 becomes 4. So we get 4 minus 3 is 1, minus 6 plus 6 is 0, 2 minus 2 is 0, and 4 minus 3 is 1. So look, we are getting an identity matrix of order 2. That means of the same order of this matrix. So we see that A multiplied by B is equal to identity matrix. In a similar way, if you do multiplication of B with A, we will get the same identity matrix. Try it at home. If you multiply this with this matrix with that matrix, that means you interchange this matrix with that and do the multiplication operation, you will get the same identity matrix again. So in that case, B into A, we are also getting I. If you check it out, it will be I. Now we are seeing that A into B is equal to I and B into A is equal to I. So according to the inversion statement of matrices, then A must be equal to inverse of B, and B must be the inverse of A. So in other words, if you take inverse of this matrix, it becomes this matrix. Or in a reverse fashion, if you take inverse of this matrix, it becomes this matrix. If you take inverse, it is equal to this. So it must be clear to you now what is inversion of matrices. Now for inverse operation, there are some conditions. The first condition is that matrix must be a square matrix. The first condition that needs to be satisfied is that for the first condition for a matrix to have an inverse is that the matrix must be a square matrix. This is the first condition. And there is a very important statement that not all square matrices have an inverse. So that means only specific square matrices have inverse. Not every square matrix has an inverse. We will see that in an example how some of the square matrices, they do not have an inverse, and other square matrices have an inverse. We will see about that. Okay. Now let us move on to another topic, how to find the inverse of a square matrix. This is the most important topic of your chapter. Suppose I give you a square matrix and I ask you to find the inverse. For example, let us say we have a matrix, a square matrix. A is equal to 1, 2, 2 minus 1, 1, 2, 2 minus 1, and I ask you find A inverse. So you have to know the technique to find the inverse of this square matrix. So there are two techniques. One technique is known as the elementary row column operation. Elementary row column operation technique, and another technique is known as the adjoint technique. In your syllabus, you will only be dealing with this type of operation. This type of operation is not included in your syllabus. That is why I am skipping this part. But this is the most easy technique out of these two. So, but unfortunately your syllabus does not have this technique. Your syllabus deals with only this elementary row column operation technique. So because of this, I started this class with elementary row column operation. I solved some example on elementary row column operation so that you may be able to do this elementary row column operation technique to find the inverse of a square matrix in an easy manner. So since this is not in your syllabus, not in your NCERT book, I am going to skip it. But this is the easier of the two. So we will only deal with elementary row column operation technique. So this is known as the elementary row column operation technique for finding the inverse of a matrix. Now before finding the inverse of a matrix, we have to consider this statement that, as I said it previously, that any matrix can be written as multiplication of that matrix with an identity matrix. This you must already know. Any matrix when multiplied with identity matrix is nothing but the same matrix A. It must be square matrix. Any square matrix when gets multiplied by identity matrix, it is nothing but equal to the same square matrix that we are multiplying. So utilizing this statement, I can say that, for example, in this case we have this matrix, right? So we can say that A is equals to A into I. So, or I can also say that I into A. As I said before, it does not matter whether you place I here or I in the first position, it will always be equal to A, since this is a identity matrix. So if you take a look at this statement, for example, let us take one of the statements, A is equals to I into A, for example. Now if we take this matrix A is equals to I into A, then we can write the same matrix here as 1 2 2 minus 1 is equal to I 1 0 0 1. I means 1 0 0 1, a diagonal matrix with the diagonal elements as 1, and we are writing A here. So A is in this position, I is in this position, and A we have kept it like this. Okay, now our aim is here. What is our aim? What are we trying to find here? Since we have written this matrix at this position and we have written I here, our aim is to obtain an identity matrix here at this position. That means by elementary row column operation, I have to make this matrix as an identity matrix. Now how can I do that? Tell me, what should we do so that this matrix becomes an identity matrix? That means this matrix becomes exactly similar to that. So we have to do some operations on this matrix. Now let us say if we perform this operation, if we change this second row to R2 minus 2R1, if we change the second row, that is the second row, if we change the second row to R2 minus 2R1, what will happen? Tell me. Look at the second row. Second row becomes second row minus 2 times the first row. So first of all, let us write the first row here. First row is 1 2, and 2 times the first row is 2 1s are 2, 2 2s are 4, and what we have as R2 here, R2 is 2 minus 1, 2 minus 1. Now since here row 1 remains same, we have to write the row 1 as it is. We have to write the first row as it is given. Okay, now look at the second row. Second row becomes R2 minus 2R1. So R2 minus 2R1 is 2 minus 2 is 0. 2 minus 2 is 0, and minus 1 minus 4 becomes minus 5. In a similar fashion, the same row column operation applies here. Since there is an equal to, whatever operation you will do here, you have to do the same operation in one of these matrices. So we have to do this operation in this matrix as well. So R2 becomes R2 minus 2R1. So in the right side we have R2 as, what is the second row here? 0 1, and what is the first row? 1 0 1 0. If you take 2R1, it becomes 2. 0 into 2 is 0, right? So R2 minus 2R1 here in this position would be 0 minus 2 is minus 2, and 1 minus 0 is 1. Okay, now after this operation we have this matrix, we have this equation here, matrix equation. Now how can we make this matrix this portion equal to 1? Since we have to make this portion, I have told you that our aim is to make this part as an identity matrix. See, it has taken a position 0, just like this matrix, it has a position 0 here, but this position is 1, this position is minus 5. How can we change that? Recall, in our second elementary row column operation technique, we could magnify any row or column. So if I divide this entire row with minus 5, what will happen? If I divide this second row, if I do another operation here, second row becomes second row divided by minus 5. If I divide the entire second row with the number minus 5, what will happen? 0 is getting divided by minus 5. So 0 divided by minus 5 is 0, and minus 5 divided by minus 5 is 1. You can do the same operation here, you have to do it. Minus 2 will be divided by minus 5 because we are using this second row changing to R2 by minus 5. The second row is this row, and we have to change this row by dividing by with minus 5. So minus 2 divided by minus 5, okay, and 1 divided by minus 5. So this matrix and this equation becomes like this. Okay, now we see that this matrix has started to take shape of this matrix. 0 1, we have the second row ready. What about the first row? We have to make this position 1 is same as this, but there is a 2 here. We have to make this position as 0. How can we make this position 0? Think about it. Remember the third operation of elementary row column operation. Third operation was adding or subtracting one row with another row. Okay, so if I make this entire row doubled and then I subtract this row from that row, what will happen? Take this first row becomes first row minus 2r2. If we do this operation, we magnify the second row and then we subtract the first row from the second row, right? So let us write the row 1 of this matrix. Row 1 is 1 2, and what are we left with? R2. R2 is equal to 0 1, then 2r2. 0 into 2 is 0, 0 into 1 is 2. Now in the position of R1, we are changing R1 from R1 minus 2R2. So R1 minus 2R2 is 1 minus 0 is equal to 1. It is 1, staying the same. And what about 2 minus 2? 2 minus 2 is equal to 0. Right? In a similar fashion, you have to do this here also. R1 is equal to 1 0. And in R2, we have minus 2 by minus 5 is 2 by 5. Because minus minus cancel out. And what about 1 by minus 5 is minus 1 by 5. This is the second row, right? So for the second operation here, it should be a 2r2, right? So when we multiply it by 2r2, this 2 by 5 into 2 becomes 4 by 5, and this becomes a minus 2 by 5 because we are multiplying the entire row with the number 2. Now the first row is getting changed to r1 minus 2r2. So r1 minus 2r2 is 1 minus 4 by 5, 1 minus 4 by 5, and in this 0 position we have 0 minus 2 by 5, that becomes 0 plus 2 by 5, that is 2 by 5. So we are having a 2 by 5 here. So after this, if we write it in a fair form, if I write this matrix here, then on the left hand side we have 1 0 0 1 equal to 1 minus 4 by 5, take LCM, 5 minus 4 by 5, that is 1 by 5, and we have 2 by 5 here. In a similar fashion, we have a 2 by 5 here, and we have a minus 1 by 5 here multiplied by a. Let me rub it all of this. And now after elementary row column operation, we are left with this part. So we are seeing that this is nothing but I is equal to a sum matrix 1 by 5, 2 by 5, 2 by 5 minus 1 by 5, and there is a A. Now take a very good look at this equation. Take a very good look at this equation. Remember, in the starting of this inversion technique for a matrix, I told you that when A and B, that means A multiplied by any matrix B is the same as B multiplied by A, and it is equal to I, then we were calling that A is equal to B inverse and B is equal to A inverse. According to the definition of inverse of a matrix, this is the definition, right? So when two of the matrices are multiplied and we are getting a value I, that means one of the matrix must be the inverse of the other. Now look at this matrix here. This matrix is getting multiplied with A, and after multiplication we are getting I. So what does this mean? That simply means that this matrix is inverse of that matrix, right? So in other words, inverse of A is this matrix, because if two matrices are multiplied and it is the result or the product is I, if two matrices are multiplied and the result is I, then one of the matrix must be inverse of the other. That simply means that inverse of A is nothing but this matrix. Inverse of A is 1 by 5, 2 by 5, 2 by 5 minus 1 by 5. So this here is your answer. This is your answer. So in our question we have given a matrix A is equal to 1 2 2 minus 1, and after the elementary row column operation we are left with the inverse of the matrix. So this is the answer, inverse of that matrix. So inverse of this matrix is this matrix, and inverse of that matrix is this matrix. So I hope it must be clear to you right now. Let us solve another example. You have to watch this video again and again, because as I have told you before, this is the most important class and it involves a lot of operations on inverse of a matrix. So in this example, in the last example, we have solved, we have found the inverse of the given matrix by using elementary row column operation technique. Actually we have used this elementary row operation only. Now we can solve the same matrix, we can find the inverse of the same matrix by using only column operations. Let me show you how. So the matrix that I had given earlier was A is equal to 1 2 2 minus 1, right? This was the matrix, and I am asking you to find the inverse of this matrix, right? Now in previous example I was solving using the elementary row operation technique. Let us try to find the inverse of this matrix using elementary column operations only. So for elementary column operation, the first step is to write that A is equal to A into I. So here is a statement to remember. For using only row operation, we will write A is equal to I into A. So this equation, we start the inverse of this matrix from this equation, right? So this is only for row operation, the operation that we have solved in the previous example. We were using only the row operation. Now we are interested in using only column operation. So for column operation, we will write this equation. You have to keep this in mind always, that for column operation of finding inverse of a matrix, we use this equation only. So since we are using column operation here, we will be using this matrix, this equation. So we are saying that A is equals to A into I. So let us say A is 1 2 2 minus 1, putting the value here. Then we are getting A into I. So I have written A same as it is, and we are having 1 0 0 1, right? And in our in this case we have to make this portion the same as 1 0 0 1. This is our aim. Now since we have chosen column operation only, we can only change the columns. So by changing the columns, we have to make this matrix equal to this matrix. So can you tell me how to do this? How to change this matrix to an identity matrix? Can you do that? The first operation that we can try is C2 getting changed to C2 minus 2 C1. Try to do this. See, first column is not getting changed, so I write the first column as it is, and look at the second column. Second column will be changed because C2 is getting changed to C2 minus 2 C1. So let us first of all write C2. C2 is 2 minus 1, 2 minus 1, and what is C1? 1 2. C1 is 1 2. Now here is a 2 C1, so let us multiply this second column with the number 2. 2 2s are 4. Now C2 minus 2 C1 is 2 minus 2 is 0, and minus 1 minus 4 is minus 5, and we have A here. Similar operation here. In this case C2 is equal to 0 1, and C1 is 1 0. Then 2 C1 would be this number multiplied by 2, and 0 into 2 is 0. So we are seeing that first column remains the same as 1 0. Look at the second column. Second column would be C2 minus 2 C1. So C2 minus 2 C1 is 0 minus 2 is equal to minus 2, and 1 minus 0 is 1. A remains the same. We have to do it on only one of the matrices here, right? So as I said previously that our aim is to make this part as an identity matrix. An identity matrix looks like this. So see, here it was 2, right? We have successfully made it a 0 here, just like this. So one of the rows have taken a shape 1 0. Now in the next part, what will you do? We have to look at the second column. Can we make the second column as similar to this 0 1? Here it is 0 minus 5, it is 0 1. So how can we make a 1 here? Can we divide this entire column with the number minus 5? Yes, we can do that. So in our next elementary column operation, we can do that second column getting changed to C2 divided by minus 5. So if we divide this entire column with the number minus 5, see what happens. So 0 divided by minus 5 is nothing but 0. It is becoming 0. Minus 5 divided by minus 5 is nothing but 1. In a similar fashion, we have to do this on the second row here. C2 is getting divided by minus 5. So minus 2 divided by minus 5 here. Then 1 also gets divided by minus 5. So minus 2 divided by minus 5 is only 2 by 5. Minus minus cancel out. And 1 by minus 5 is nothing but minus 1 by 5. So after this operation, we are seeing that one of the columns has taken a shape 0 1. The other column is still remaining the same 1 2. So only 1 is same here, 0 is same here, 1 and 1 are also same, but here it is 0 and here we are having 2. So how can we make this number as 0? Think about it for a second. How can we make this number as 0? Can we multiply the second row and then subtract the first row from the second row? Can we multiply the second column with the number 2 and then subtract the first column from the second column and then put the result here? What will happen? So if we do this operation like this, that the first column getting changed to first column minus 2 times the second column. So in our first column on the left hand side we have 1 2, and on the second column we are having 0 1. If we multiply with 2, it becomes 0 into 2 is 0, 1 into 2 becomes 2. So we are seeing that second column remains same, so we are not going to change this column, only the first column is getting changed. So C1 minus 2 C2, C1 minus 2 C2, 1 minus 0 is 1, it is 1, fine. What about 2 minus 2? 2 minus 2 is 0. In this part we have C1 as 1 0 and C2 has 2 by 5 and minus 1 by 5, right? Now in the second column we have to change it, because the first column is getting changed, right? Here the first column is getting changed, second column remains same. So what can we do on the first column? C1 minus 2 C2. So I have to multiply it with the 2 here. So after multiplying with 2, 2 by 5 becomes 4 by 5 and minus 1 by 5 becomes minus 2 by 5. So do this operation, C1 minus 2 C2, it becomes 1 minus 4 by 5. And in place of 0, 0 minus minus 2 by 5, that is 0 plus 2 by 5, that is 2 by 5 only. So we are having a 2 by 5 here. Rewriting this equation, 1 minus 4 by 5 is nothing but 1 by 5. So we are seeing that the left hand side has become an identity matrix and we are left with A into a standard matrix here, square matrix. Now as we know already that any matrix, when it's get multiplied by another matrix, and if the result is identity matrix, then these two matrices must be inverse of each other. In other words, A inverse would be equal to this matrix, 1 by 5, 2 by 5, 2 by 5 and minus 1 by 5. It is same as the answer that we were getting on the previous example when we used the row operation technique. So it must be clear to you how to find the inverse of two matrices or inverse of a single square matrix. Okay. Let's look at another example. It is quite complex, but you have to watch this video again and again and try to memorize the steps. So we have seen that while finding the inverse, one technique that we use is the elementary row operation, and the other technique is to use the elementary column operation, right? So in the previous example, on the first part we were dealing with elementary row operation, and on the second part we were dealing with elementary column operation. So while we have a matrix A, suppose there is a matrix A in your question and the questioner is asking you to find A inverse. He has given you some matrix here like this and he is asking you to find A inverse. You can choose one of the two methods. Either you can choose this method or you can choose that method. So if you are going to choose this method, then you should write this equation. Whatever matrix he has given, you should write that A is equals to I into A. This you have to memorize. The first equation that you will write while using only row operation is that A, whatever matrix he has given, should be equal to I into A. This I is in the first part. And while using elementary column operation, the first equation you should write is A is equal to A into I. Save this in your mind. And these are two techniques for finding the inverse of a matrix. So if you are using elementary row operations only, that means if you are changing only the rows, then you have to use this equation. And if you are using only elementary column operation, then you have to use that equation. Then you will write whatever matrix he has given. For example, he was giving matrix 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you have to write the exact matrix here as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. In place of A, we are writing this matrix A, whatever he has given. And we have to write this identity matrix here, 1, 0, 0, 1. And we have to keep this matrix A the same. Then the next step, this is the second step, okay? So this is the first step that you should write. This is the second step, that means putting these matrices in their place. You should not change A here. A should remain the same here. You should not put the value of A. You should put the value of A here and the value of identity matrix here as well, okay? In a similar way, for this operation, you put the value of A as it is 1, 2, 3, 4. And you should not put the value of A. The value of A should remain the same here, and you just write the identity matrix in this position. So this is the first step, this is the second step. In the third step, try to use elementary row operation and make the left hand side equal to I. That means you should try that this matrix becomes identity matrix, and for that we have to use elementary row operation in this case, and in that case we'll be using elementary column operations. So in this case, after you put this value here, after we have put all these values, the value of A and the value of I here, you should try to make this value as an identity matrix. By how? By using elementary row operations in this technique. In this technique, you have to use the elementary column operations so that you can make this matrix as an identity matrix. The left hand side should be equal to identity matrix, and whatever elementary row operation you will do here, you will do the same operation there. For example, if you change the second row to 2 times the second row, then you should change the second row to 2 times the second row here as well in this matrix, in only one of these matrices. So in this matrix you should do the same. Whatever operation you will do here, you will do the same operation here as well. And after that you should achieve a value of identity matrix at this position, okay? Let us do another example. So these are the 3 steps. If you are choosing elementary row operation technique, this is fine, or if you choose to use this operation, it is fine. Both the methods are valid. This is one method, this is another method. Both the methods are valid. You can choose either of the 2 methods. You can choose this method or you can choose that method. This is up to you. So it is customary or it is a common concept to use this operation most of the time, because it is very easy compared to that, and it is used most of the time. So try to use this elementary row operation in the next example and see what to do. So you remember the steps. First step is to write this equation. Whatever matrix the questioner asks, whatever matrix he has given and he asks you to find the inverse, first write this equation, then put the value of a, put the value of I, keep a the same here, then use elementary row operations on both these matrices and try to make this matrix equal to I. And after that, whatever matrix you are left with, both the matrices will be inverses of each other, and in that case A inverse you will see directly here, right? So try to memorize these steps. Try to memorize these steps. Let us solve another example so that you are clear this time. Let us say this time you have a question: obtain the inverse of the following matrices. Let us say example number 1. 1 minus 1, 2, 3. Suppose you have a matrix. Suppose you have a matrix 1 minus 1, 2, 3. You calling it A. Suppose A is a matrix 1 minus 1, 2, 3. And the examiner is asking you to obtain the inverse of the following matrix. So you choose the row operation or you choose the column operation. In our example, let us select the row operation technique. Let us use this row operation technique. Remember, in our last step, in our first step, what should we write? We should write that A is equal to I into A. Remember in our last step that I have given. So A you put as it is 1 minus 1, 2, 3. Put the value of I 1, 0, 0, 1 and keep the value of A the same here. Okay, then you should try to make this matrix equal to I by using only row operations. So this matrix should look like 1, 0, 0, 1. So what is the first step that you should do? First step is that you obtain a 0 at this position. How can you do that? Well, there is one step that if you multiply the first row and then you subtract the second row from the first row, then you are getting a 0 here. See, after multiplying this entire row by 2 and then it becomes 2 minus 2, 0 here. So the first step that you should try is that R2 becomes R2 minus 2R1. Try it. So what will happen? What is R2? R2 is 2, 3. And what is R1? R1 is 1 minus 1. Then 2R1, 2 minus 2. Now R1 is remaining same. So I am keeping R1 the same here. And look at R2. R2 becomes, this 2, 3 becomes R2 minus 2R1. So R2 minus 2R1 is 2 minus 2 is 0. And then 3 minus 2 is 3 plus 2. 3 plus 2 is 5. Right? Next, on the right hand side you do the same thing. R1 remains same because in this operation R1 is the same. So keep the first row as same. And we have second row as 0, 1. And the first row is 1, 0. Then 2R1, 2 times becomes 2, 0. Right? So R2 minus 2R1. 0 minus 2 is minus 2. 1 minus 0 is 1. Put it here. Multiplied by A. Okay. So now we are seeing that after this operation, we have made one of this as 0. Always remember that we are trying to make this matrix equal to the identity matrix. We are trying to achieve this position. So one of the zeros we have already attained it. What is the next thing that you should try? Yes, we should try the next 5 here. So we should try to make the 5 equal to 1. How can we do that? Remember, we can change an entire, we can multiply or we can magnify or demagnify an entire row. So if we change the second row and divide this entire second row by the number 5, so if we divide it by 5, then what will happen? This 0 by 5, so this operation is known as, if we are dividing by 5, this operation will be known as R2 becomes R2 by 5. Why are we dividing by 5? Because we are trying to make this number as 1. So after division, 0 by 5 becomes 0 and 5 by 5 becomes 1. Okay. In the second case, this is minus 2 by 5 and 1 by 5. So now after this operation, we are seeing that we are making 0 and 1. So 1 we have achieved also. So we have a 0 here and we have a 1 here. And we have a 1 in this position, but we do not have a 0 at this position. So how can we make it a 0? Can you find a way to make it a 0? Think about it. What will happen if we keep this row as same as 0 and 1, and if we change this row by adding this row with that row and placing the result here, what will happen? So if we do this operation, if you change the first row to first row plus second row, then what will happen? Second row remains the same as 0, 1, right? Second row remains the same as minus 2 by 5, 1 by 5 multiplied by. What happens to the first row in this case? First row is getting added with second row. First row plus second row, see 1 plus 0 is 1 and minus 1 plus 1 will be 0. Okay. In a similar case, R1 plus R2, what is this plus this? That means 1 minus 2 by 5. And what is 0 plus 1 by 5? It is 1 by 5. And we put the result in the first row, right? So try to do this. It will be equal to, what is 5? 1 minus 2 by 5 is 3 by 5. And it is 1 by 5. It is minus 2 by 5. And it is 1 by 5 multiplied by A. What is this? Identity matrix. And according to the definition of inversion of matrices, we know that when two matrices are multiplied together and if we get a result of I, then in the inverse of this matrix is this matrix. So we are seeing that A inverse, we are seeing that A inverse is equal to 3 by 5, 1 by 5, minus 2 by 5 and finally 1 by 5. So this is the answer of the inverse of this matrix that was given. So this is the solution of question number 1. Answer is this. This is the answer. Let us solve another example. Example number 2. It is slightly complicated. I advise you repeatedly that you go through this method again and again and watch this video as many times as you like.